Welcome, guys, to part 2 of the season preview. If you didn't watch the first part, make sure you check the link on the description below and make sure you watch that part, then come back and watch this one. So in the first part, we discussed about the Premier League men, Super League men, National League men. Now we're discussing about the Women's League. And luckily, we have two players who've really had experience in it. So I expect you ladies to be more involved in this.
Okay.
So anyway, let's start with the Super League. We've seen a new team. I don't know how to pronounce that name. Is it Orange? Leonas?
Yeah, Orange.
Yeah. We've also seen TUK, that is Technical University of Kenya Women, join the league. They were supposed to come back. I don't know what happened. They are no longer there, but we've seen these new teams coming in. How do you think they will perform? Let's start with Gilly.
I think new teams comes with surprises. I don't think they'll be that bad as people are thinking, because they coming in knowing what is ahead of them. So I think they're prepared, and they have also a lot to offer to their teams, because they have good players who were not scouted before and are ready and willing to play nice hockey. So I think they'll really fight. If you don't, if the other teams are not careful with them, they might even be at the top of the league when it's coming to the end.
A good example is Kisumu.
Yeah.
Lakers.
The Lakers came in. No one expected they'll do anything, and now they've been promoted. And they're coming into now the Premier League.
Yeah.
So we are not because they have a lot of psych. Actually, if you see them, they have a lot of psych. Meaning, there is something in them that makes them think or feel they are where they are supposed to be. Yeah. So they really give a good fight.
Mm-hmm. Yes. What of Vikings? They have some valuable Premier League experience. Now they are coming into the Super League, which is a bit less competitive compared to in terms of quality compared to the Premier League. Cynthia, how do you think Vikings will fare on in the Super League?
Okay, Vikings, I think last season they had a problem with their players. Most of them were engaged, so most of the matches they could not show up. So I'm hoping they have structured their team now and they'll be back full force. But I think the Vikings is fully with players who are very experienced. There are people who played the league for so long. So if they come back, I think they'll get back to the Premier League. Yeah.
How do you expect Mombasa Sports Club to perform? I think they are a good team. They have good players, but somehow they usually don't perform. What do you think, Cynthia?
I think they'll just perform as usual. The way they always perform.
Yeah.
Though last season they seemed to play better than they always do, but there is some laziness in them always. So that's it.
But that's their nature.
A miracle, by the way. I expect them to perform as usual.
Yes, Gilly.
But they have new players. They have new signings, fresh from high school. So maybe they'll be better this time, because Mombasa Sports Club's face is changing.
Yeah.
Like when I was joining the league, if you hear of Mombasa Sports Club, it was these big women, But now they have a lot of small women, right? A lot of small girls who have speed, who are willing to play, who have skills and experience, So maybe this time they'll be better off, because their face is changing. So yeah.
Son, Sema.
Yes. Hey.
What do you think?
Mimi kama fan wa Kisumu ama Lakers, jirani ya Butani, I'll always support them.
But what do you think of the Super League?
Mimi kama fan wa Lakers. Fan number 1. Sanga hapa ya kuwa atasupport hao.
Lakini Sang hizo trips za Kisumu zimefanya una support Lakers.
Wewe wacha
Trips za
bwana.
Kisumu hizo.
We shall revisit.
Butali na Lakers iko hivi.
Shareholders.
Okay.
Investors.
Shareholders.
Now, Sang,
private developers.
Sang, what do you think of the Super League? Which team do you think will win it first? Let's start there.
Super League, I think, considering the teams that ziko pale, I think it's anyone to win. Yeah, it's anyone to win because you know what? One funny thing in the ladies matches, you wake up in a day and you find yourself you are good enough. Na unashinda tu game hivyo. Sometimes unajua mademo anakuanga na mood. You never know. Yeah, so it depends when your coach wa bring up. Okay, I'm a relationship na coach. So at some point unaweza pata a good team in a disappoint coach. Like they don't want to play because maybe kulikuwa na misunderstanding ama coach alitumia wrong tactics kwa coach during the week. So akifika pale during the match wako burn out kabisa. Those are some of the things we as coaches also. Okay, I'm saying we because we also, I know you, Simon, you're part of the coaches. Gilly also, you're part of the coaches. We need to be learning this during before the match and after the match. And you need to plan your schedule. So I think it's anyone to win that the Super League.
Yeah. I think the teams that will really challenge for it will be Vikings. Multimedia, you can't rule them out. Especially Multimedia I think is the team to watch this coming season. Because last season they displayed some very good hockey. Another team that you can't rule out is Wolverines. I think Wolverines have made some good signings. Last season was their first season in the league. I think they should also be challenging seriously for the title. Another team I think that we expect to see a bit of good performance, I've been following them a bit, is the Technical University. I think as Gilly says, we should expect a surprise there. Kwani wewe Sang una support every team mentioned?
Team zote tu wako hivi.
You know, ukisema technical, those people who are the Tuk, the men's team, they know Sang from Tuk. Sometimes, yes. So okay. I'm happy. I can see some of my people following me. They want to play in the Premier League. Tuk, all the best. I want you to come and join Lakers.
Jesus.
Sang, I think we need to take you to Mathare a bit.
Yeah.
Now, KU and Lakers were promoted to the Premier League. Cynthia, former KU player, how do you think they will perform? Both teams.
Those teams zitaperform tu vizuri. Gilly akisikia KU anajua.
Fire.
Bila KU tu bado, so they'll be good. I think for KU, I don't see them having a problem to play the Premier League. They've been there, they've played. Most of the people who are still in the team have been there, have played the Telcom, the Strathmore, the USIU. So they'll be back to prove themselves that they were not supposed to go down. So I think they'll do well. For Lakers need team ya psych. As in, they don't do anything out of this world. Wako tu na psych ingine. Mwenda. Wakikuja game, hata wewe unaogopa. So I think they'll perform well. They said they are coming back to win the Premier League, beat Telcom. So
that's a good one. That's a good one.
There was a newspaper, they have signed 10 players. So wacha tungoje tuone what they'll bring. But I think they are a good side, a very good side.
But
Yeah.
don't you think KU will struggle a bit considering that 5 or 4 of their top players also exited from the other club?
I feel, for me, I feel they won't struggle as much. They'll struggle, but not so much, because we were there, yes, but there were some other people there too. So it is a matter of those coming in to play gain that courage kucheza. Most of them, they are good players, but kuna watu wanaogopa, as in anaogopa to make mistake. So if they get the courage to play, they play so well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Gilly, we saw JKUAT Sliders struggle last season. They had a bit of a relegation scare themselves. How do you think they will perform this season?
Each team has been preparing in their own way, and both of them, I think both of them have really come up in regard to how they've been training so far. So I think they won't struggle much this season, but they have to really, be aware, because they were losing matches that they were not supposed to lose. Because if we saw, Sliders almost beat Telkom in the last season, right?
Yeah.
But they were losing to other small teams that was not even making sense. So I think it's the way people take matches. Unakuja hii game unajua hii ni team ndogo, hii tutapiga. And then when you get there, it's the other way around. But unajua hii ni Telkom, tutafinya, you get?
Yeah.
So it makes them focus on take other matches seriously than other ones, which was really bringing them down. So I think they've worked on that, and let's see how it will be. I can't say much about them anyways. Yeah.
Yeah, son.
Yeah.
Sasa this time unaona kama Telkom watapigwa or they'll still run away with the league?
Okay, it's a good question, but also a hard question. This time, yeah, it's a good question, but also a hard question. The fact that coach is not there. Okay, not their coach who used to win the league is not there. And then we have the new management in terms of coaching. They really have to struggle a lot because they need to adjust because things are tough and they have to sign players, So for them, okay, there was a rumor. I don't know if it's true. They were splitting the team into two, whereby they want to have another team in the I don't know, Super League or what.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then Telkom will struggle. They'll have to struggle. Yeah. Because
but will they really? And they have a lot of players at their disposal.
That's now something that's worrying a lot because they really need to before making that decision. They really need to think about the caliber of players they have. If they really think that they have so many players and which they can do the job, well and good. If they think just talking without thinking what on the bench is just the right decision, you put them into problem. They'll struggle in terms of winning the league and in terms of winning the continental championship again.
Yeah.
But they need to think again about the decisions they are making.
Okay. Yeah. Gilly.
Yeah.
Strathmore, will you win the league?
Because we've been training as other teams are training. Yeah, and we actually, okay, as we are focusing on winning the league, we will take each match at a time. Every game is equally important. So I don't want to say, okay, we are going to win the league, yet there are many matches before then. Okay. So we'll take each match at a time and take them with the seriousness they deserve. And yeah, we'll get there because I believe we have the capability to be there. Tumekuwa tukinusia each time, each season. Yeah, so this time, yeah, we'll get there. Yeah.
Cynthia, you've signed for Amira.
Sasa unaibia watu siri.
Kuibia watu siri. Walishajua kitambo.
Tunajua.
Tuliona kwa Parklands ukicheza.
And we also saw you somewhere in Mombasa. You won't say where, but we saw you somewhere in Mombasa.
Okay.
And you have photo evidence.
So
Yeah, I think you signed a couple of players over the transfer window. I think 3 or 4 from KU or something like that. Mnaona kama mta challenge for the league? Will you be challenging for top 4? Will you be challenging to avoid relegation? Where do you think you will be lying at the end of the season?
Kuna mtu ana challenge ku avoid relegation, no? Okay. I believe we've been training, though not together. Some are in Eldoret, some in Kisumu, but I believe each and everyone has been training. So we'll take a game at a time. Yes.
So where do you think you'll be at the end of the season? Top 4, mid-table?
Top 3.
Top 3.
Yes.
All the best.
Gilly anakuchekelea, so that's that.
Gilly anachekelea.
Mi nimesema tu okay, you know, like top 3, hapo top 3 tuko wengi. Mwenye atafika kwanza.
Sawa, mwenye atafika kwanza, all the best.
Yeah, but I think this time the Premier League women will be very competitive, especially the top 4. I think this time around, I don't see Telkom running away with it as they are used to, because I think right now we'll see either a 3-point gap or a 1-point gap between either of the teams. Unaweza pata hata kama Telkom watawin ligi, as they usually do, it won't be with a 9-point gap or a 12-point gap. It will be, as you've seen over the past few years, your gap inaendanga ikireduce. And nowadays, teams are being able to adapt to the way they play. The teams are finding ways to counter their tactics. So I think the top 4 race will be very, very interesting to watch, because Strathmore are there, USIU are there, Chesamira are there, Telkom are there, and you can't rule out these other teams that are there. We don't know how JKUAT have structured themselves. We don't know how the likes of KU will come. We don't know how the likes of Lakers. We don't know whether they've signed 10 ex-Telkom players. We don't know. We don't know whether they've signed 10 Ugandan international players. We don't know. But I think as the league goes, we'll be able to see. So, guys, now going back, generally discussing things, we've seen KHU bring about some new rules to the league, which includes, for example, like us coaches, we have to provide our certifications so that at least we can be in the technical area. We've seen them say that you have to sign FIH forms for approval. We've seen them say that at least now they'll be a bit more strict with some of the rules, like jerseys. Do you think it's a good move? Do you think that it was long overdue? Let's start with San. Do you think these rules will aid the league?
Once there is a thing that, the one that the uniform thing.
Yeah.
For me, I feel at some point the KHU are doing their job, but to some clubs, not all of them. Because if you find, you can see those photos on Monday, the trolling photos from social site, whereby people are posting what they did over the weekend. You find out that some teams, they are like a different kit, like you know what, we are not allowed to put on like a blue socks and a blue short and what, it should be something different, isn't it? But you still find other teams are playing like that, and you can see them from the pictures on the social media. And if it is a Kenya Police playing or Botali playing or top league, top best club playing, they are very strict on them. So you wonder why are they doing that? So for me, I think if they are serious about the implementing the rule, it might help, but I don't think if it's going to help, because at the end of the day, it's just a game. Okay, I don't know the concept behind it. For me, it's beyond me. I don't know. But if it's going to help, it's well and good. Let's follow the FIH rule if that's what they believe is correct. No one's supposed to break the rule, so we'll have to follow what they want.
Gilly, do you think that these sort of rules and regulations are aimed at making the league a bit more professional?
Yeah, because at some point you find a team that doesn't have kits that are uniform,
Yeah.
Like you can find a team that are wearing shorts, other people are wearing shorts, other people are wearing skirts, other people are wearing skirts,
Yeah.
with different colors of bikers, and it doesn't look good, because we want to get to the same level of which our competitors are. So we have to start implementing things that will make us look professional. It's so unprofessional that a league has people playing with some weird kind of kits.
Bibs.
So I think it's bibs. I think it's for the better of the league. Yes. And for the better of Kenya Hockey, because we really need to get there. It's been long overdue.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Cynthia, what do you think? Do you think that easy rules zitaumiza some teams? Will some teams be ready for them? What do you think?
Na uanze na Bungoma.
Of course, zitaumiza some teams because we're not the same, all of us. There are some teams struggling financially, kuna zingine ziko sawa. There are some teams buying their own kits, so ni ngumu, but I think wanatry kufika hiyo point yenye at least tufike mahali we look professional, we look good. Najua sometimes unaangalia teams zikicheza unashangaa huyo ile shot yake inakaaje, kuna wengine inakaa vibaya, wengine ni kubwa sana, wengine sijui vitu kama hizo. So I feel wanatry tufike hiyo professional level, but itaumiza some teams.
Yeah. I think it's a good move. Honestly, I do think it's a good move, especially sisi wenye tuko HockeyKE, we know what it means to have things a bit more professional. Like we've been trying to implement player statistics for so long, ever since we started, but we can't, because you find that Leo, let's say Sang anacheza na number 16, tomorrow you see him with number 18. Cynthia leo amecheza na 21, the following game Cynthia ni Cynthia, yes, amevaa 21, but in actual sense it's not Cynthia. So it's difficult to have these player statistics, and to me, especially to us as HockeyKE, it's important to have them, because with such data you can be able to know how a player is performing. It will assist teams that are scouting for new players. It will also assist players. For example, a good example is when it comes to cards. We've all seen this happen before. As a coach, I've had this problem as well. You find that you get to know a player is not in the game when you are actually in the game. You don't know how many. Yes, I know as coaches, you're supposed to keep that data as in. Let's say Sang amepata yellow mbili, he misses the next match. But such information is usually not available to the public. And I feel, for example, as a coach, if I know my opponent is missing 2 or 3 players, I can actually know how to play against them. So I think these rules are good, these regulations are good. They're going to make the league more professional. And I support them. I know, Sang, you're not up for the rules, but I think they will help the league, especially when it comes to as Gilly said, matching up to a competition.
Simon.
Yeah.
Okay, for me, it's not that I'm not up to the rule, but for me, I prefer if they're implementing the rule, they really need to be strict on all the teams.
All the teams.
Some teams, not to
Yeah.
some teams. Because, like, for the I can tell you, like, from my club, they are very strict on us. But when you look for other teams, like the one that are playing the National League, you find they are putting on some funny dressing. So I wonder why
Simon,
Yeah.
I think the challenge is, as Walucho said, some of these teams don't have the attire,
Yeah.
So they come with they just show up. They show up with whatever they have because they want to play. They don't want to miss the match. So they can't be chased away to go and look for something to wear. Yet they're already there and they have to play the match. But for a team like Butali or Police or Chalcom or Strathmore or Ramira or whichever team that is sponsored, those teams, they don't have any excuse. You get? If you're told, okay, you guys have kits, you more than one pair, you can't say you don't
Gilly,
have kits.
I have a question for you. When they are saying you are playing a Premier League and then all the FIH rule is applied. Now, I'm assuming it's maybe karate. FIH rule is applied. So I thought FIH rule is part of the kitting also.
Yeah.
So I think if it's Butali or if it's any other team, it should go across all the teams. Not saying in terms of sponsorship or what.
Yeah, I agree, but my point is what if they show up with whatever they have? Will you chase them and let them not play?
Oh, that's another problem.
You
I think
you
they
can't
should be
chase
strict.
them,
Yeah, they should be
but you
strict.
can't.
They
Yeah,
should
so I
they
think
should tell you that
that
you have to pay up.
that was what was happening because they are sure Butali has kit and an extra kit so they can change. But this team doesn't have completely. So let's just let them play, but we warn them so that next time when they come, they don't repeat the same thing. Yeah. So I think that was what was going on.
Okay.
Yeah.